Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the final day of the 2018 Options Industry Conference in Amelia Island, Florida. Joining me to kick off the day is Steve O. He's the head of ETF Listings and Business Development at Nasdaq. Thank you very much for helping me kick off the final day today. Tell us about OIC 2018 and some of the major themes that we're discussing at the conference.
Sure. I think there were some pretty strong, consistent themes, one around capital usage and the cost of capital, specifically risk-weighted assets, which I'd like to talk about how it impacts ETF options, as well as also the number of market makers, a decreasing number of market-making firms, and as well as also some products that are in the ETP space, XIV, SVXY. And there were just some concerns around retail usage and really fully understanding those products and how they work.
Well, tell us what you're going to be discussing on your panel.
Sure. So I'm going to be talking about how the ETF world and the options world is coming together, a lot more ETF options usage. But at the same time as well, I want to focus on the idea that there's a lot of active ETF options, but there's also a lot of very, very active ETFs that just don't have the love in terms of auction activity, and how do we address that as an industry?
All right, and what are you looking to achieve on the panel?
Just more understanding. So I'm going to have a panel that's composed of ETF issuers and ETF options market makers, and they're going to really talk to each other in a deeper conversation around what they need to do to support each other's businesses.
All right, well, tell us about Nasdaq ETFs and some of the great things you guys have going on.
Sure. So a couple of things I'd say is that we've built out a very strong team consisting of myself, Carlos Pelaez, Ed Coughlin, Michelle Tavora, Tal Cohen, who's very supportive on the executive level, Ben Haskell and Jonathan Kane. I really want to give them credit for being part of a very strong team. The ETF business is growing very quickly. Nasdaq's recently seen a lot of phenomenal growth, a lot of synergies between ETFs and Nasdaq, and so I'd like to help bring all those together.
All right, and what about the ETF industry overall? It's seen some phenomenal growth. Do you expect that going forward?
I do. I still see continued growth in ETFs, especially on the active ETF side, globally as well. MiFID II, for example, being a big driver in Europe. And then consequently as well, as more people use ETFs in their portfolios and they want to enhance their strategies, ETF options are a great way to go.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Steve, for joining us at OIC. And thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.